Welcome to our Webquest. So our Webquest is for Year 3 history on changing places. So this is our homepage for the website. We have a very clear welcome to history for the Year 3s. And we begin with a little overview of what they're going to be doing. And then obviously our acknowledgement of country, which is incredibly important. And a quick little diagnostic assessment task. So seeing what their prior knowledge is. And then we have a button to click that will take the students onto their first lesson. So really simple homepage, nothing too crazy, just so it's really easy to navigate. Our first lesson, we obviously begin with our learning intentions and our success criteria, making sure it's really simple, easy for the students to follow. And then piquing their interest. So have you ever wondered? And making sure they have everything they need to begin with. So making sure they have headphones, a charged iPad. Then we begin with the stories. This is My Place by Nadia Wheatley, and they will watch the story. It is a beautiful story about how communities change, and it takes into a lot of different perspectives as well, which is really lovely. And then we use an answer garden to think about what changed throughout the story. So the students can click on the link, and then this will take them directly to the answer garden where they can write in what they think has changed, and they can have unlimited answers to this. Then a little bit of explicit teaching, what actually is change, and some examples. And then we have a look at this video here, which shows the students how the earth has changed over the past 37 years. And then briefing them on what their next task will be. So like spot the difference almost. Very simple instructions, and then it is outlined here for them as well. They can choose one of the 3 places in a community that is relevant to them. So we're assuming our school is in Fremantle. So all the locations chosen are in Fremantle, and we have comparative images from the olden days and the present, to past and present. And if they click the link to Seesaw, ideally it does take them to a T-chart. However, I have the app on this iPad. If you click the link in a web browser, which the students will be doing, it will take them to Seesaw where they can fill in the T-chart and upload their task for this lesson. Clicking on the page, it takes them to lesson 2. Once again, we have our learning intentions and our success criteria. Very simple again, easy for the students to see. We begin with a video to pique their interest once again, where they see how houses have changed over time. And then below they get to put what they think and why this has happened onto the Padlet, which is directly onto the website for them. So really easy, they don't have to click on any external links. And a little bit more explicit teaching on this slide. Why do places change? We've got some examples. And now briefing the task. So it's time to investigate, making sure they have their term HASS groups, which we go into more detail on the concept page, and then they're down below for the students. So if they click on the Padlet, the links and the info, it takes them to everything they need, and then they can fill in the answers down below. So the instructions are super clear, and everything the students need is there for them to click. And then down below, underneath the pictures, we have the Padlet link. So then after the students have completed the task, we can have a look all together. And then the students finally complete an exit ticket following the lesson.
Now moving on to lesson 3 about gathering community knowledge. Now if we scroll down a little bit here, we see the learning intentions and the success criteria that the students will be following and learning about throughout the lesson. A little bit further down we got the welcome page, and the students will be becoming a little history detective. Scrolling down a little bit further, we see the missions that the students will be going on. There's 3 missions. Mission 1, finding information. Mission 2 is using pictures about the chosen information that they chose. And mission 3 is using the Pic Collage or the Book Creator app. Scrolling a little bit further down now, we see a place that the students need to choose for their research. So there's a Fremantle Prison, the Fremantle Markets, the North Mole Lighthouse, and the Fremantle Fishing Boat Harbour. Scrolling down a little bit more now, we see where the students can start their research, and there's 3 things they need to find. You need to find 2 images at least, 1 short description of the chosen place, and lucky last, important dates of the chosen place that they have chose. Now there's some helpful videos here for the students who've forgotten about how to use Book Creator and how to use Pic Collage.
Hello, my name is Meg.
Scrolling down a little bit more now, we see some helpful links that the students can click on to take them to some information that they might use. Scrolling a little bit down now, there's a video about how to use Google Maps and even how to take pictures on it and so forth to be able to find some more information about their chosen place. And lucky last, the exit ticket that the students need to fill out before finishing the lesson. Moving on to lesson 4 now is when the students start creating their own timeline. Scroll down a little bit, we see the learning intentions and the success criteria the students will be learning and also completing in the lesson. Scrolling a little bit further down now, we see the welcome back page with the students being little history detectives. Scrolling a little bit down now, we see what the students need to include in their timeline. It has to be a minimum of 3 events, a description of the event, and also include an image or images. Scrolling a little bit down now, we see how the students can actually make their timeline. They have 3 options. They have a Canva, and they have a read, write, think, and a hard copy sheet. If they click the picture for Canva link, for example, it comes up with a Canva link and they're more than welcome to use it. Even with the PDF, if you click on the PDF image, it comes up with the PDF. Scrolling a little bit down now, we see some examples for the students to use, just so they get a clear image of how the timeline is going to look and what it might include. They can even use drawings that they make themselves, like in the examples given. Scrolling a little bit down now, we see it's time to present time. And this is when the students are given a moment to shine to present their timeline. Now this includes what the students need to include in their presentation, so step-by-steps there. There's some helpful sentence starters for the students if they want to start a small speech, and some hints on how to speak confidently for them. Then a presentation little slide about the teacher beginning the presentations, and lucky last, congratulations on finishing the task at hand.
Moving on to our teacher page menu, so we have the drop down with assessment, our concept and explanation video, and our references. So clicking on the assessment tab, we just have all of our tools. So first is our diagnostic checklist that we use for the little cold task at the start, formative assessment checklist, so we just have one for the first 3 lessons with all of our objectives. And then there's some space for anecdotal notes as well for each student, just to make it really quick and easy. And then finally our summative assessment rubric, which is completed after the final task, with understanding of change, cause and effect, the timeline, presentation skills, and then their reflection and understanding. And we did that on a 5-point scale as well. Then moving on to our concept page. So we start off with our concept overview, so just explaining what the actual concept of the Webquest is, and sort of the skills and techniques that the students will be using while they're completing the Webquest. And then we talk about how we've sequenced and scaffolded our lessons with the 5E inquiry model, and just go into that in a little bit more depth, which you're welcome to have a read about on the website. Scrolling down, then we talk about our implementation differentiation. So beginning with our lesson flow, how we progress the lessons and how we sequence them, including a mix of explicit teaching, discussion, digital explanation. We'd used a good mix of group and individual tasks, including some classroom management considerations. So the big key thing here is the pre-allocated mixed ability groups, which they use throughout the term, and using digital activities with clear scaffolding instructions. Differentiation, so using templates for scaffolding. Non-readers or students obviously can use audio-supported resources or talk to text. And then finally, our text-to-speech, which is the most important, is available on all the iPads which the students will be using. So that is available for them to use throughout. And obviously some extending prompts down the bottom as well. And then finally, we go into our curriculum links. So our history, which is our HASS content strand, which is applicable throughout all 4 lessons, which is change and continuity in the local community. And then for each of our skills down below, we have next to the content descriptor which lesson you can find the skills used in. So there is a range of HASS skills applicable throughout. And then we just have a brief section talking about which of the curriculum general capabilities have been integrated throughout the sequence, as well as cross-curriculum priorities as well. So we integrate 2 of them throughout, and there are obviously opportunities to integrate more as well. And then finally, we have our reference page. So just our SCARS curriculum for the HASS, content descriptors, and then all of our YouTube videos and other resources as well.